August 8, 2024. Memorial of Saint Dominic, Priest. A reading from the prophet Jeremiah. Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not like the covenant that I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, my covenant that they broke, though I was their husband, declares the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord, I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And no longer shall each one teach his neighbor and each his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm Response. Create a pure heart for me, O God. Create a pure heart for me, O God. Renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me away from your presence. Take not your Holy Spirit from me. Create a pure heart for me, O God. Restore in me the joy of your salvation. Sustain in me a willing spirit. I will teach transgressors your ways, that sinners may return to you. Create a pure heart for me, O God. For in sacrifice you take no delight. Burnt offering from me would not please you. My sacrifice to God, a broken spirit, a broken and humbled heart, O God, you will not spurn. Create a pure heart for me, O God. Alleluia, alleluia. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. At that time, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, Who do people say that the Son of Man is? And they said, Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said to them, But who do you say that I am? Simon Peter replied, You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered him, Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah. For flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then he strictly charged the disciples to tell no one that he was the Christ. From that time Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Far be it from you, Lord. This shall never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me. For you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. Thursday, 18th week in Ordinary Time. In this morning's Gospel reading, Jesus addresses Peter in two very contrasting ways. He initially addresses Peter as the rock, You are Peter and on this rock I will build my church. However, within the space of a few verses, Jesus then addresses Peter as Satan, Get behind me, Satan. You are an obstacle in my path. Having addressed Peter as the rock on which he can build, Jesus then identifies him as a stumbling stone, an obstacle on Jesus' path, because he was not thinking in God's way. The fact that Peter could be a stumbling stone did not mean that he ceased to be the rock. Peter, like every human being, was complex. He was a mixture of wheat and weeds, to use an image from one of Jesus' parables. In spite of his failings, Jesus appointed Peter as the rock, the focal point, of the new community he came to form. The Lord keeps faith in us even after we have failed him. The Lord can work powerfully in and through flawed human beings. What he does ask of us is that we keep striving for God's way, as against a merely human way.